Have you ever pondered over how a small European nation, Portugal, could establish a sea route to India, a country thousands of miles away, and change the course of history? Well, let's delve into the fascinating story of the Portuguese arrival in India. The year was 1498. The world was a vast and mysterious place, and the seafaring Portuguese were eager to explore it. Their quest for spices and other exotic goods led them to the shores of Kerala, a beautiful coastal region in South India. It was here that Vasco da Gama, a brave and adventurous Portuguese explorer, landed, marking the beginning of the Portuguese era in India. Over the next few years, the Portuguese established a series of trading posts along the western coast of India. They set up their first trading post in Calicut, followed by others in Cochin and Cananore. The Portuguese were not just traders, they were also missionaries, spreading Christianity wherever they went. By 1510, the Portuguese had established a strong foothold in India. They had captured Goa, a strategic port on the western coast, and made it their main base. From Goa, they controlled the lucrative spice trade and expanded their influence further inland. The Portuguese rule in India lasted for more than 4 centuries. During this time, they left an indelible mark on Indian society and culture. They introduced new crops like potatoes, tomatoes, and chilies, which are now staples of Indian cuisine. They also brought with them their language, architecture, and music, traces of which can still be seen and heard in parts of India today. However, the Portuguese rule was not without its dark side. They imposed heavy taxes on the local population, suppressed non-Christian religions, and even engaged in forced conversions. These actions led to numerous revolts and uprisings against Portuguese rule. By the mid-19th century, the Portuguese influence in India was waning. The rise of other European powers, coupled with increasing resistance from the local population, led to the gradual decline of Portuguese rule. Finally, in 1961, more than 400 years after Vasco da Gama first landed in Kerala, the Portuguese were forced to leave India. To recap, the Portuguese arrival in India in 1498 marked the beginning of a new era in Indian history. Over the next 4 centuries, the Portuguese established a series of trading posts, spread Christianity, introduced new crops, and left a lasting impact on Indian society and culture. However, their rule was also marked by heavy taxation, religious suppression, and forced conversions, leading to widespread resistance and eventually their departure in 1961. The story of the Portuguese in India is a fascinating tale of exploration, trade, and cultural exchange, but also a tale of power and resistance. It's a reminder of how the actions of a small group of people can have far-reaching consequences and change the course of history. So, next time you savor a spicy Indian curry, or marvel at the beautiful architecture in Goa, remember the Portuguese who made it all possible, but also remember the countless Indians who resisted their rule and fought for their freedom.